Imagine you can stand, walk by y'all off the dome, and turn and face the east. In this building, east is this way. Yeah. So all the occupants and alcohol online. We got in this library, the Southern Oaks Library. So without time, we got to say the prayers. We can't shout. Whoever used to say the prayers, so we're gonna go ahead with the Lord's Prayer first. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Lakka, Taba'ah, Latazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kowal, Hayah, Shemayim, Thundanawa, Lakam, Cow, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawati Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawati Nawa. Wala Labayana, Wanasrawan, Abol, Hawashana, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wala Allah, Wakapara, La Ilanim, Now we're going to say the Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever so be it. Prayer for the power next. All right, this is on the cock. Prayer for the power. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Shemam the thunder now, Hakak, La Par, Kal Makala, Kal Madawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazariah, Hakak, Lahakwin, Hamatin, Hakak, Arakawa, Tama'ala, Lugarashan, Bahashem, Yahusha, Aman. All right, now in English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahusha, please give us the power, the power to heal, all manner of sickness, and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahusha, thank you so much. Okay, now we do the blessings in the Hebrew first. Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahushua, Wa Mak'ala, Wa Alahai, Tazabiyah, Alawak Yahan, Ha Alawak, Ha Sabranya, Ha Kotayam, Ha Kakoyam, Bahashem, Yahusha, Tawaraman. Now blessings in English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angels. Commander General Yohana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the soldiers. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it. All right. We're going to see Psalms 121 in the Hebrew first. Asha'ah, Ayanya, Al-Haharia, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Azaria, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Wa'arataza, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Mugalka, Al-Yatan, Saki, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Ana, La'a, Yawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawama, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamdimka, Yamumam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakaraka, Wayarak, Layala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Makarai, Yashma, Athmapashka, Yalak, Wabaka, Mayatha, I will long. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help coming from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite me by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. All right. We'll do Psalms 83 first in the Hebrew first. Al Damiyalaka, Al Takarash, Al Tashakwat, Kaya, Our Yadika, Yahama Yawan, Wamashanaka, Nasha'awa, Ra'ash, Our Aimaka, Yaira Yamma, Sawa, Wayataya Aitazawa, Altazaka Wanyaka, Amawa, Lakawa, Manakakina, Magalia, Wala'a, Yazaka, Shumyasha Aiwa, Kaya, Noah Aitazawa, La, Yakadwa, Al Yaka, Rayas, Yakarathwa, Alahaya, Adawam, Wamashma Alia, Mawa'aba, Wahagari, Gabal, Wa'ima 1, Wa'ima Pilasha, I'm Yeshabia, Tazawa, Gum Ashawa, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Labunyalawa, Selah, Ashalaham, Kamadian, Katayasara'a, Kayavian, Bonakal, Kwayashua, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayandaira, Hayawa, Gama, La'adama, Shayatamwa, Nada Yabmawa, Kaira, Kaza'aba, Katabab, Katazamanai, Ka, Messiah Kumba, Aisha, Amawa, Naya Rasha, Lanawa, Af, Na'aywath, Alahaya, Shayathamba, Kagagala, Kakwash, Lapunya Rakal, Ka'ash, Laba'ira, Wakalaha, Dalahat, Hariyam, Kun, Daladatma, Basa'ira, Wabasabapatka, Dabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Kuala One, Wayabakashwa, Shanka, Yahau, Yabashwa, Wayabahau, Ayai, Wayakapawa, Wayaibadwa, Wayadaiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shanka, Yahau, Labak, Ayawan, Ka, Ha'arataza, Amma. All right, now we're going to get Psalm 33 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace. And be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumble. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also joined us. They have opened the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them, and unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished therein. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zed, yea, all their princes, as Zabal, and as Zamun, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wick, as the fire burning wood, and as the flames set the mountains of fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded, in trouble forever. Yea, let them be put to shame, and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the Most High, over all the earth. So be it. Okay, now we're going to get the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth, and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua. Listen to us now. Right now. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, and death to the heathens that speak against us, as we speak that, speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. Send evils and curses, and punishment and destruction, and death to the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel, that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches into thy sanctuary, destruction, and punishment, and destruction, and death to the Edomites, and the nations, and the drug dealers, the court system, prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments are enemies, Amalek synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, proselytizers, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airwaves, cable access channels, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift death to all the heathens that stand in the way, or try to stop us from broadcasting your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro. Through the earth. And destroy. Cause the plagues. To come against America. And destroy them in their stronghold. Let the plagues. Shake the house of the thief. And the murderer. Let Yahushua, Michael and Gabriel, come down with the flying saucers, and kill all the heathen that come up against us, as we speak that word. Cause it to be known by all. That is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake it like coming. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you always. So be it. Okay, so you see this? Oh, so, yeah, everybody see it? And I'm gonna bring you up to read, right? Present yourself.
Isupk, Yahawada, Bun Yashala.
Okay. Isupk, Bun Yahawda, Bun Yashala. Right now, show this. Go ahead. Like this.
Like this.
Like this.
Okay.
Now, stop.
Okay.
Just like this. Amadium Shabbat. Amadium down to the side. Lift the side. Feet together. Side. Barak. And that's what you say, Yahweh Shem Shabrakata.
Yahweh Hashem Shabrakata.
Yeah, and now you come on.
Do I wait to salute to the sister too?
No.
Oh, okay.
Come on. No, I'm just saluting and I'm bringing you up. I'm bringing you up. So you just like present yourself. All right. All right, you see. Shalom, Israel. How about Shalom, brothers? How Shalom, sisters? Okay, I tell you what. Fix it, kind of bring it down some to us. Okay, down some. Right now, it's like it's just got our heads in it.
Okay.
Bring it down. Okay, all right, that's good enough. That's good right there. That's good right there. All right, Shalom Israel. It's the Oklahoma Sabbath service. Like I said before, every Sabbath service, this is what every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian should be doing. So you're keeping the whole Sabbath for the Most High. Exactly. To move it, if you can move that over in front. You should be there. That's in the good spot where it is. It's laying to the side. So just move
This part.
now you can move the whole thing. Okay. Yeah, you can keep that. You keep it right here. So we got a small space. Everybody, we're in this library. You know what I'm saying? See this, and understand, this is a Sabbath service, so we are in captivity. You know what I'm saying? We got to go by their rules. This is when you're under oppression. You can't even worship the way you want to worship the Most High. You can't even have the Sabbath service because you're using their crap. That's what it was like. It's you know what I'm saying. It's better like when I was doing it in my house. You know what I'm saying. But see, right here we're using the Esau's library, so more people can get to it. In the area. If they're in if you're in Oklahoma, you can get to it, and you can just come and really like keep the Sabbath service, being holy unto the Most High, keeping the Sabbath service and being right unto the Most High, what you should always do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like destroy through Christianity. We go to church on Sunday, so you have no business in the church on Sunday. That's really worshiping the Roman gods, sun gods, and it's foolishness. It's a religion. It's Christianity. So the topic of this Sabbath service is homeborn slaves. Who are the real homeborn slaves of the earth? That's Israel. We are homeborn slaves. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, this is their kingdom. Wherever you are on the planet, it's their kingdom. So where we are homeborn slaves. Why? Because we adapt to everything they do. We adapt to the holidays, all the ceremonies, all the Christianity, their religions. We adapt to them because we're slaves. We're homeborn slaves. You know what I'm saying? Now, a captured slave, like I said, when he's captured and he's brought into slavery, he know how to be free. You see, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't know how to be free. We don't understand freedom. You know what I'm saying? We only understand slavery because we understand it. We are in bondage. We are oppressed people. We don't understand oppression or anything. You know what I'm saying? So by us being like these slaves, we don't understand the things that are being done to us. And look, this is in the Bible. Give me Jeremiah 2:14, brother. Next, right, the Most High is asking a question of us. And what's wrong with us? He's asking a question. And this is precept is always so heavy because, you know what I'm saying, these things that you would never think it was in the Bible.
Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant?
Man, ooh.
He a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
You hear that? It says, is Israel a servant? It's asking a question. Is he a homeborn slave? And see, that's our problem. We're homeborn slaves. Like I said, a captured slave, when you capture him, he's gonna know how to be free. He's gonna say, man, y'all got, man, it's crazy, man. They got me these these chains on me. I ain't supposed to be like this. You know, this is the way our ancestors were when we first brought over here. We understood we was in oppression, in bondage. You know what I'm saying? But once you live long and you live and you grow up and you have the civil rights movement and you keep on wanting to follow the oppressor and you get Martin Luther King with his garbage and everything else, all the rest of us are just homeborn slaves. So you live the kids of today, they just don't know nothing else but being a slave. Kids of the day, they just grow up, you gotta teach them that they are slaves. You know, because if you don't teach them, you'll be like Tim Scott, Senator Tim Scott, you know, the one with the big teeth. You'll be like him, you know, talking about his country he know and love, you know. And see, this is so heavy. It says, is Israel a slave? You know, is he a homeborn slave? Because we're homeborn slaves. Because after all these years we've been over here, and we still get a knee on our neck till we die in broad daylight. And then you have to, I mean, come on, this still happens. And what would give that oppressor? What would give him just to give him the mindset that he can just sit there on the guy's neck while he's crying for his mother and everything until he dies? What would give him the freedom to do that to somebody? Because he was doing it to a slave. He was doing it to a slave. So he really felt it. I'm not doing nothing wrong. He got a knee on his neck. He's hollering for his mother and everything. He's choking and everything. I feel him dying. So what? Because we're homeborn slaves. Because so this is the heavy precept when the Most High is saying, you know. And see, right now we're in the middle of our celebration of Hanukkah. You know, when Judas Maccabees and fought the Greeks, and we killed the Greeks and got them out of our temples, and we dedicated our altars back to the Most High. You know, the Greeks came in and slaughtered our temples, and you know they murdered us and they slaughtered pigs on our altars and everything just to desecrate our temples. So they did this to us. I mean, you know, this is crazy, and we don't celebrate it because the Roman Catholic Church, well, they took the Apocrypha out of the Bible. And we don't even know that's in there. Now, this is the Apocrypha. You got the Apocrypha, bro? Okay, I'll tell you what. You got a Apocrypha? Okay. Okay, but now I got it. I don't, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I have it on this phone. But it's so crazy because these things that are in the Bible, this is part of the Bible. It's been taken out of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? We can't even see it. We don't even know about celebrating the feast, the dedication of Hanukkah. We don't know anything about it, and it's right in the Bible. What is it? First Maccabees. No, I just went 5 and 1 because I just want to see that. Yeah, read that. Read that. And that's
So like it's started.
yes, yeah. And see, like sometimes, like the way this is written, the Apocrypha, when it's sometimes on the app, it's kind of sometimes you get letters that looks kind of funny, but I don't think it's right here. You good? Go ahead, read.
Now, when the nations round about heard,
and Slacky, but and here now they start being on the walls and telling us that we too loud. So really, we can't read. Like I said, we know we're in captivity. We got to tone it down a little bit.
All right. Now, when the nations round about,
repeat where you are.
Okay, Maccabees 5.
First
Maccabees 5, 1 through 5, and it reads: Now, when the nations round about heard that the altar was built and the sanctuaries renewed as before, it displeased them very much.
And look, check that out. And that's what I wanted. I just wanted that because that was just so heavy. It says what the people that was around, the nations that were around about us, when they saw us build up our altars after the Greeks tore them down, desecrated our altars. When they saw the temples was built back up and the altars, we dedicated the altars back to the Most High, and we had the feast of dedications and everything. The other nations were displeased. They were upset because we were serving the Most High righteously. We got to understand that these people are against us. All these other nations around about us, they are against us. So this is why it's so sad right here that we can't see it. We don't know these things are in the Bible. We don't even know the Apocrypha exists. Because why? They just what Christianity says the laws are done away with, and the Roman Catholic Church, they destroyed our records.
Right.
By taking the Apocrypha out of the Bible. Like I said, if you get yourself a 1611 edition of the King James translation of the Bible, it will have the Apocrypha in it. But it's like, it's terrible that that's been taken out of the Bible, that we don't even know about our holidays. We don't even know about Judas Maccabee. Judas Maccabee, that should be posters and pictures all around in our land where we are, in our communities. Some Judas Maccabee and Matthias, his father, but we don't even know these guys exist. You know what I'm saying? And it's right here in the Bible telling the nations around about us, they were displeased when we built up our altars. What we're supposed to celebrate, what we're supposed to celebrate and keep throughout our generations, we don't even know anything about it. We went around celebrating Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's how destroyed we are as a people. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a lot more to it, it's heavy, but I just wanted to get that, to bring up what I was, that's real heavy. That's real heavy. Like I said, in your spare time, definitely read, I'm coming up, the whole Apocrypha, like I said. General Shaw told me years ago, I was in the school and I had my Apocrypha and I was highlighting different precepts. And he told me, he said, hey, God, he said, I'm gonna tell you, he said, if you keep on doing that, you're gonna mess around and highlight the whole book, because it's just that heavy and just that amazing that it's been taken out of the Bible. And we don't, come on, it's like we destroyed for it.
Right.
So now it's said, as a matter of fact, yeah, read on to verse 2, brother.
Verse 2, wherefore they thought to destroy the generation that was among them.
Good.
And thereupon began to slay and destroy the people.
Destroy and slay the people. You see what we're up against. We're up against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the oppressors, and all the other nations. Everybody in Israel, come on. There's 18 nations of people on the earth. Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we've been in captivity under 17 of them. So it tells you that the Bible is true by telling us that all these people are against us. Come on. And we such homeborn slaves. We got people like Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, go ahead, mash it down like this. We got people like Stephen A. Smith that he gonna get on what's that brother's name? He got on Kyrie Irving. He got on Kyrie Irving and Lamar Jackson I think they lied about them COVID being vaccinated or something.
Yeah, they didn't want to take the COVID.
Yeah, they didn't want to take the COVID. Yeah, exactly. So look, he's going to get on them and drag them on national television. He gonna rag them, but yet Aaron Rodgers did it. Aaron Rodgers lied. They didn't bring nothing. Come on. He lied about it. They didn't suspend him. None of no games like they did on the other brothers.
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, Antonio Brown. I think they didn't suspend him or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And come on, they just let him play. You know what I'm saying? Did they give him a little fine or something? I don't know.
With
Aaron Rodgers. I'm not sure.
I don't think.
I'm not sure.
They fined him a couple of thousand, but it wasn't. 10, 15.
Yeah. So, but it's crazy, right? This and Stephen A. Smith, I charge him on their ragging his brothers, but not getting on this Edomite. Not getting on him. I'm just bringing that in. Come on, that's wrong. But see, he's a homeborn slave. When you're a homeborn slave, then you love your master.
Well, you know,
It's Stockholm syndrome. Yeah,
so like Captain, you know, he said that every day when he comes into work, the first thing he thinks about is how can he make his boss some money. Wow. So that tells, I mean, he said that over time. All the time, over and over.
Say that again. Who said it?
Stephen A. Smith. And I quote, he said when he first come in every morning, the first thing he think about is how can I make my boss some money.
Wow.
And when he did that, you know, because I had met him a while back, and I was, you know, when he first came on, he was real militant.
Yeah.
And I met him, shook his hand, took a picture with him, and then I kind of felt his views.
Yeah.
But then when he said that, I don't even watch him now.
Yeah.
But he said this a couple months ago.
Yeah. Oh man, that's it. You see what? That's a homeborn slave.
Yeah.
That's a homeborn slave. And see, we just, man, we hate each other. We hate each other, man. You know, so that's why it's like when you read these precepts we read right now, this is what we're supposed to keep. You know, the Feast of Hanukkah. We're supposed to keep that for 8 days. We're supposed to keep it. We're in the middle of this, the 5th day. This is the 6th day. It's the 6th day of Hanukkah. We're supposed to keep it. You know what I'm saying? But we've been destroyed. Now, brother, give me Deuteronomy 28 and 64 first. 28:64, because you know we are just the way they do us. It's like, man, we can't see anything. You know, and it's funny. The other day, you know, I was flipping on the cable, and I looked and I saw the old westerns on. You know, Clint Eastwood. So I turned it on, Fistful of Dollars. You know, that was one of my favorites. That was one of my favorites. You know, back then, I was talking, Fistful of Dollars. I love Clint Eastwood movies. You know what I'm saying? But when I watched it, I just couldn't watch it. I started watching it and said, look who he's going up against. He's going up against the Mexican bandits. You know what I'm saying? They are all the bad guys. And you telling me he's going to be the best gun of the West. You're going to send a white man, he's going to say, oh, this and that. He got the no squeaky little cool voice, and he killing Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? And it's so racist against those Mexican brothers. I mean, it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's awful. Like I said, when you come into the truth, you're going to see the madness of those Clint Eastwood movies. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not in the truth, you can't really see it. You know, like I said, I grew up watching Clint Eastwood. You know, Clint Eastwood was a bad dude, the fastest gun. You know what I'm saying? And that same movie, A Fistful of Dollars, where he killed the Rojo brothers and stuff like that. I was like, man, you know. But now when you see it now, it's like the Rojo brothers was my brothers. Those are my brothers. You know what I'm saying? The Rojo brothers, I roll with them. That Clint Eastwood. You know. But see, we destroy people, you know what I'm saying? They give us that all the time, you know what I'm saying? Down through the years we had the Lone Ranger and Tonto. The Lone Ranger was black anyway. That was brought out. We brought out years ago that the Lone Ranger was a black man anyway. But they had the Lone Ranger and Tonto. I mean, Tonto, come on, Tonto was the Indian brother, the Native Indian brother, you know what I'm saying? It was like, man, everybody, come on, I wanted the Lone Ranger. I didn't want Tonto. You know what I'm saying? I remember I think my brother had a Lone Ranger in Tonto. So out here, man, I just tell the story. My brother had a Lone Ranger in Tonto. And I wanted the Lone Ranger. You know, he was a cowboy with his white hat on and everything and stuff. My mother said, Cecil, let that boy play one of those toys. Cecil gave me Tonto. Tonto, we was riding in a car, man, I threw Tonto out the window. I just let the wind take him. Just Tonto went on the highway, you know what I'm saying? That's being destroyed. You're watching TV and they destroyed us. They destroyed us as kids.
That's right.
You say you gotta have your parents to tell you that, hey, no, that's not right. I'm saying correct you. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to bring that up because those Westerns are really more. They're so racist. I mean, they're so racist against the Native Indians. And all the time you watch those Westerns, you're watching them killing Native Indians. The Native Indians are the savages, you know, and a man with the white hat, the white man, he's the cowboy, he's the sharpest shooter, power, he's shooting out, you know what I'm saying, killing all the Indians, you know what I'm saying, and we just say, oh man, yeah, we rooting for the white man.
With a 6 shooter.
You know what I'm saying?
It's 20 Indians with a 6 shooter.
It's terrible. It's terrible, you know what I'm saying? I just to talk about that because that's right on topic with being homeborn slaves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We are bred to be homeborn slaves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Now, brother, give me that, brother.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 64.
Now, we're just going to go. I'm going to go through this. Like, how do we become homeborn slaves? Now, I'm going to read this, but this one came over here. Now, Moses is giving us this. Moses, when coming out of Egypt, we're in the wilderness. Moses is telling the Israelites about all the things if we follow the Most High and just whatever, Go ahead, brother.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee, shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth, even the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Boy, and that's telling us. That's giving the whole lot. That's telling us he's going to scatter us. This is how we get all these places. Except from the earth to another. So that's why we got brothers in Trinidad. That's why we got brothers in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Brothers is speaking, is having a Sabbath service just like I am right now. You know what I'm saying? We scattered everywhere.
Right.
So he said, man, we're going to serve wood and stone. That means that wooden cross and that cobble, Christianity and Islam.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's right here in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? This is our constitution. You know what I'm saying? This is our guide how to survive. Well, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Now, brother, take me to Deuteronomy 28:68.
Deuteronomy. I got some more.
No,
Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Into Egypt, Salafi, brother? Into Egypt again with ships. Now, we wasn't going to go ride a ship and go back into Egypt, the land of Egypt. It's just that the word Egypt is a Greek word for that means Egyptos. I'm talking Egypto, a Greek word Egyptos, which means bondage. So it means bondage. So when he said Egypt, Egypt means bondage. He said, you're going to go back into bondage again. But this time you're going to go on the ship. And that's the transatlantic slave trade, cargo slave ships. Go ahead, brother.
So by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Now that way where he spoke unto us in our land of Jerusalem, Israel, we see it again. We shall never run by Israelites again. As long as the oppressor is ruling the earth, we won't see it run by our people ever. We're going to see it again when Christ comes back. But what he said in this captivity, we'll never see it again. Run by Israelites. Like, of course, like I said, we always get Negro Israel. Say, hey man, we were from Israel, I'm going to live in Israel. They always been doing that from long way back in the day. They've been doing that, running back to Israel. But it's in that run. You got the oppressor in our homeland saying that he's us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's so sad about it. Saying that he's us. I mean, they got the shield of David. Boy, the thing that destroyed black people call a star. When it's your shield, I mean, it represents King David.
Right.
Now, brother. Now read on.
Come. And there shall be sold, they shall be sold unto you, unto your enemies, for bondmen and for bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Now, no man shall buy you. It's old Quaker English for no one shall save you when it says buy. So that's what it says in this context. It says buy. It's telling you nobody should save you, because that's old Quaker English, and they left that in there. Buy. So and that's. Now I'm just telling you, sold to your enemies, not your friends, sold to your enemies. I mean, this is what the Bible says.
Right.
Say we're going to be sold to our enemies, and nobody's going to save us. Nobody's going to save us because we sinned against the Most High. So, and this is in the. I tell you what, brother. Take me to Deuteronomy 28:1.
Salaki 28:1.
Yeah, 28:1. Because now we just learned the transatlantic slave trade. We just learned. Now look, we just came out of Egypt, and Moses told us that we were going to go back to slavery again, this time on slave ships. Now, why did we do it? And it's right here in the Bible, because the Most High told us everything on how, if we serve the Most, we keep our law, statutes, and commandments, and we don't keep Christmas and Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying? We would have been all right. Let me read it, brother.
Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord.
Salaki, it says, when it says hearken, listen, obey, read.
The Lord God to observe and to do commandments which I commanded thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
The Lord thy God set thee on high above all nations on the earth. You know what I'm saying? If we listen, this is what the Bible is telling us. So this is what we didn't do. This is what we didn't do. Now, if we listened, you know, he would have took us, and what, we would have been above on everything. We wouldn't have suffered the transatlantic trade. It wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? We would have took over land. We would have conquered people instead of conquered. You know? So look, that was one. Take me to 15, 28 and 15. Deuteronomy 20 and 15.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
It's like it, brother. It said if we would, and then 21 said if we did, if we would listen, we would hearken unto him. You know what I'm saying? But now it's telling us if we didn't, what was going to happen? Read.
To observe, to do all the commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Curses. You see that? Curses from the Most High. This is what stuff that happened to us. The Most High cursed us for sinning against him. He said, just listen. Just like you tell your kids. You tell your kids you tell them things because why? You don't want nothing to happen to them. Mm-hmm. So you try to correct them and say, no, don't do this. Don't do that like that. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're going to get hurt if you do that. Mm-hmm. So then, what? If the kid listen, he grows old and be like, Dad, and go back to his mom and pops and say, hey, I'm glad I listened to y'all. You know, I'm glad I paid attention and listened, you know. Or they don't get old. They die young. Or get locked up. Be in jail. Like, Dad, I wish I would have listened. You know? So this is the same thing. What we gave you, it's in the Bible. If we obey the Most High, he put us. If we don't, everybody will be under everybody. Mm-hmm. And see, that's the problem with us now. That's what we at the point because we didn't listen to the Most High. Yeah. This is our problem. Why we sitting there and what? This is why we crammed in the library room right now. This is why we in the library room because our ancestors and everybody wanted to do the civil rights movement, and this is why we sitting in the little library room. You know what I'm saying? When we should have a big old temple. That's right. You know? Yeah. Go ahead, sis.
I was just looking at the word. He said to do all of them. That's not right. One of them, that's not right. Two of them. He said all of
that's
them.
It.
You can either be blessed by doing all, or you can be cursed by not doing them all. But you can't do one and think that's going to be okay.
Exactly. That's good. That's good, sis. And see that, and that was a heavy point you just made out. And that's the Christian church teach it. They try to keep it. They keep the tithes. They keep the tithes. You know what I'm saying? They keep you paying the tithes. You know what I'm saying? But the laws are done away with. Laws are done away with. We can't keep the laws. You know, those are old laws. Christ came and died on the cross, so we don't keep those old laws. Come on, we keep paying 10% to the priest. That's one of the oldest laws. I mean, come on, in the Bible. So why would you do away with that? No. You want your airplanes and your mansions and your cars and you know what I'm saying? Right. They want to fulfill their lust. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But we just got here in the Bible that if we be obedient, we'll be on top.
Right.
Disobedient, you're going to be on the bottom. And that's
right.
our problem. It's a problem with us today, you know? Now, brother, give me, now, Salaki, go to 28 and Go to 28 and 20. And see, these things that come out, this is why we homeborn slaves. Because we sin against the Most High, and we've been bred to sin against the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And that's a homeborn slave. That's how we continue to be homeborn slaves. Go on, brother.
Deuteronomy 28.
28 and 20.
28 verses 28, chapter 28, verse 20. The Lord shall send upon thee cursings, vexations, and rebuke in all that thou sittest thine hand upon for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly.
Boy, you see that happening? I mean, if you don't listen, I mean, the Most Highs are terrible. You don't want to play with the Most High. And this is why we teach in the Isupk to fear the Most High. Understand you got to fear the Most High. Be obedient unto the Most High. And understand that He'll jack you in all types of ways. Right. You know? And this is our problem is Christianity taught us to not fear the Most High. Christianity teaches us that God loves you anyway, no matter what. You keep on sinning, you keep on forgiving. I mean, what type of crap is that? I mean, that's just BS. You know? Now, brother, take me down to verse 25.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 25. The Lord shall cause thee to smite before enemies. Sit before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and thou shalt be removed into all kingdoms of the earth.
Good Lord. I mean, you see what? Man, this is why these things happen to us. You know what I'm saying? George Floyd, this is what happened to George Floyd. I mean, come on, it's in the Bible. All these things are written for our learning. You know, so we can just learn from it and say, all right, we got to be righteous unto the Most High. We got to serve the Most High, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We got to understand that this Bible is our constitution.
Right. So, like, can you explain the part that is removed into all the kingdoms?
You're going to be removed. You're going to be a slave in all the kingdoms. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be just the bad words and the joke and slaves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, so that's what he's talking about. Now, brother, take me to Proverbs 3 and 31. This is a problem we have with our oppressor. We have our oppressor right now, and we have a real problem, you know what I'm saying? Proverbs 3 and 31.
Proverbs 3 and 31. Envy thy not the oppressor.
Envy thy not the oppressor. Read on.
Choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways. Come on. And this is our problem we have with. We want to envy the oppressor. We envy the oppressor. And the sad part about it is we don't even understand what's going on. The reason why you want to go and do things like the oppressor, like the so-called white man, because why you envy him so much. You want to be like him so much. You know? I mean, this is why we take the old gangsters from your 20s, like Al Capone and all those names, and, you know, Dutch Schultz. We take those names and try to, you know, be like them. You know what I'm saying? Because we envy the oppressor. So it says, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. All his lifestyles. We just want to be like them. We think we living our life. Yeah, we living our life. You doing like you popping bottles. No, you living like the oppressor. You going against the Bible. So this is why the Most High says, envy the oppressor and choose none of his ways. You know? And that's just so heavy because we do it because it comes back to homeborn slaves. Go back to homeborn slaves. I mean, come on. It's like, come on. A homeborn slave. The slaves that came over here, the first slaves that came over here, they knew they was captives. They understood freedom and they understood bondage. And they said, man, this ain't right, man. You know, we slaves, we out here picking cotton. This ain't right, you know? But when you're a homeborn slave, you learn to live. You learn to adapt to their ways. You learn to trick or treat. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. You learned everything because why? You a homeborn slave.
Right.
Then you just totally destroyed. Totally destroyed. And this is why I actually became commander in how what we do is wake up our people. Understand you being a slave. Let you know, turn the lights on in your head and let you know that you are being a slave.
Right.
You are being a slave. But being a slave, that's not all right. It's not all right with the Most High.
That's right.
Because why? You prince of the power. That's what Yasha Allah means. Prince of the power. You are prince of the Most High God.
Right.
You know, he don't have us being slaves. You know, being happy to be joined with the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like we are in oppression right now. We are oppressed people. We sitting here oppressed in a damn little small library room when we don't even have a temple. You know what I'm saying? And look now, and they have us on the time limit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta cut up. We can't even worship the way we want to worship. Come on, this is our Sabbath.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we gotta come in their little dump of the library and have our service, you know what I'm saying, and get out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So and for now that definitely go ahead. We send donations to Isupk Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can get my cash out, you know what I'm saying? We'll give you a cash out. And so, really. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we are in captivity. You know what I'm saying? This is why we come and do these type of things. Now, brother, I tell you what, give me Deuteronomy 30:3. Deuteronomy 30:3. This happened. We got about 5 minutes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. We got about 2 minutes. 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
Deuteronomy 30:3.
Mm-hmm.
That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee.
He gonna turn our captivity and have compassion upon us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying there's a way out for us. You know,
Right.
we just gotta understand the way out is what getting in these classes. You know what I'm saying? Getting in these Sabbath service. You know what I'm saying? Being obedient to the Most High. You know?
Right.
He had the Lord, he having compassion on us. You know what I'm saying? Gave us a way out. This is why Christ came to die for us. To give us a way to wait. He had suffered all the temptation we had. But Christ never sinned.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he was our example. You know what I'm saying? He came in here, he was born by Mary and Joseph. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't immaculately conceived, like the Christian church try to say. He came in just like us. You know, and he had all the temptation we had. You know what I'm saying? So he was our example. That's how he'll be our savior. That's why he's our savior. Right. You know what I'm saying? And with that, we're gonna go ahead and close this service. You know.
Yeah.
We're gonna say the